Well, after thousands of hours in Destiny 2, um, I'm finally at the point where I feel like I am pretty close to done. I want to preface this with the fact that I didn't play Edge of Fate at launch because I knew or had a very strong feeling that the game wasn't going to be for me for a couple of reasons. It wasn't the new systems, right? New destination, uh, gimmick for traversal across the new destination, weapon tiering, armor tiering, portal system. Nah, none of that stuff. There is one thing that I knew was going to lead me to not liking Edge of Fate, and that was my two favorite game modes in all of Destiny pretty much being gone in Gambit and Iron Banner. Not even memeing. I was one of the rarer Destiny players out there in that I'm a Warlock main and a Gambit enjoyer. Legit, right? I rock Dredgen every season. I've gilded it every season. I play a ton. The other title I always rock, Reckoner. Gambit was hands down my favorite game mode in all of Destiny ever since it was introduced. And with it not being guildable, it not being supported, I I knew that I was not going to have a fun time playing this game anymore. All right. But I decided to come back and made what has turned out to be one of the worst purchasing decisions that I have ever made. And I bought Edge of Fate. This has been the only time I've ever bought a game that I wish I could refund. Right? I bought Rainbow Six Siege and I suck at games like that because my friends wanted me to. I played for 30 minutes, uninstalled it, never played again. Never felt like refunding it, right? Edge of Fate is frustrating, to say the very least. And I knew it was going to be frustrating, right? I couldn't play Gambit. I couldn't. There was going to be no Iron Banner. The things that I go out of my way to play and enjoy in Destiny weren't going to be there anymore. And even with those low expectations, my expectations were blown out of the water. So I had a friend, hasn't played since we cleared Salvation's Edge week one, really. I think we got a couple of clears in. But he stopped playing after that. And we saw the new raid, right? We know raids are cooking in Destiny every single time they release one. And he wanted to come back and play. I can't resist it. I've been playing Destiny a lot, and we decided that with the sentiment about the new power system, that during Solstice we'd come back, knock out the legendary campaign, get into the power grind, and try to make the most out of the extra rewards. So that first Friday after Solstice launch, we prepared for our CBT, loaded up D2. New login screen music was pretty cool, but a bad sign in my mind to take advantage of nostalgia at this stage in the game. Uh, Definitely gave me a little pause for concern. Uh, so with that, hearing that definitely made me worry, made me think about, man, this must be bad if this is what we're going into and capitalizing on. So we started the campaign, started to grind through it. Not bad. Like the idea. I like the story. Destination was dog shit. But I will go ahead and say that from a lore and story perspective, I enjoy everything in Destiny. Every single bit of it. Uh, I don't care what story it is. I'll eat it up. I will enjoy every aspect of it because the lore of Destiny prior to Gambit was the main reason that I kept playing the game. Back in Vanilla D2, doing Insight Terminus for the very first time, and you finish the boss, and your ghost starts talking about the researchers from Venus back from D1 and all the side quests in D1. That was a great moment. And I don't even care how long it took. When Maya came back in episode Echoes, I loved it. I'm not even ashamed. Everything about Destiny's story I love. I buy all the Grimoire books. I read the lore that's in the game. I watch Bife's videos. All of it. The lore is fantastic. And the story in Edge of Fate was good enough to keep me satisfied and happy, but really just reinforced the issues that Destiny has had forever. Right? Campaign itself, pretty repetitive, same areas frequently. We went back to that one same arena, I think 3 or 4 times in quick succession early on in the campaign. Uh, Buggy as shit. Though one of the worst parts of the campaign for us is that in the quest for Matter Spark 2, it bugged out. And so while we got the explanation of what Matter Spark 2 was and how it works, we never actually got the destination ability of Matter Spark 2. So we played through the entirety of the campaign getting the effect of Matter Spark 2 from taking damage or waiting for the Matter Spark timer to go off. Which means that in those boss fights where you have to break the shields of the enemies floating in the air, we had to do that by waiting for the fucking timer to run out and timing going through a jump pad to destroy the shield and then finish the campaign. Right? We didn't even know that that was a problem. We thought that's how it was. And that made the rest of the campaign pretty fucking miserable, especially the final boss. So, Legendary campaign took us 7 hours or so, way longer than it probably should have. But we did get it done, which it was all right. It was all right. But when we did finally complete it, we then opened up our assholes to what's the worst part of Destiny 2 has become. So, for context, right? I want to highlight I am not a stranger to how shitty the Destiny 2 gameplay loop has been. At all. I've played this game a shit ton at every point in time. Right? So, quick gander at time wasted on Destiny. Shout out to all the folks who use Bungie's APIs to pull player data and summarize it. And I played on PS4, switched to PC when it released right around Forsaken, and I've played a lot. Um, a lot. At a bunch of different times throughout the history of Destiny, right? So even the times that are perceived as some of the worst seasons of Destiny 2, I genuinely played for hundreds of hours and I enjoyed it, right? Like, I don't even care. Curse of Osiris, I would have played a lot more than I did. But I only played for 3 hours and 32 minutes. Primarily, though, because I had my last kid and real life got really hectic and I couldn't game as much as I was used to, which is fine, right? But I enjoyed it. I came back, I did everything on Mercury, collected all the chests, did all the missions, got all the weapons, got all the emblems. Like, I didn't really have much of a problem with Curse of Osiris at all. Warmind, played a shit ton then, did all the side content. I even collected all 40 of the nodes uh, to get this really cool emblem that I like to wear all the damn time. Right, and I say all that to say that gameplay loop in Destiny's always been a problem. Generally, it doesn't even matter to me. I enjoy playing Destiny, and I play it pretty much no matter what. Right? Seasonal slop, whenever that started, back in Season of Undying. Shitty quests, I did Divinity like 6 times. It doesn't even matter. I enjoy playing Destiny all the time. It's where I would spend the vast majority of my free time gaming, finish all my real life responsibilities, get all my kids to bed, and then load up Destiny for a couple hours almost every single night. Right? But with that, I've seen every problem uh, in the Destiny 2 experience, and then all the fixes that have been done to make it, and some problems just never get addressed or fixed, right? New player experience bad, always has been, safe to say, never going to get addressed or fixed, ever. They've had time, they've had opportunity, never have, never will. And because the new player experience is bad, returning player experience is also bad. And once you miss a couple of seasons of Destiny 2, it really becomes a bit too overwhelming to ever come back. And I don't want to go into that, right? Like, it is what it is. But all of the problems that are in Destiny 2 really come down to that if the decision makers at Bungie played the fucking game, they could have fixed them and would have fixed them ages ago. And that's the crux of everything. Edge of Fate has made it very apparent that there's not anyone in a decision-making capacity at Bungie who's a longtime player of the game or gives a shit about fixing the problems. As a matter of fact, they've gone out of their way to bring back problems that have previously been fixed and then make them fucking worse. Right? And that's the part that drives me crazy. So, right, and it's frustrating. The creative people at Bungie are brilliant. 100%. I love the lore. I love the story. I love all the side quests. I love all the little tidbits. I think the writing team is completely fine. I know a lot of people have criticisms of different aspects of the story and different issues and all of that, yada yada. That's fine. Right? Completely fair. But generally, I enjoy it all. Right? The people who make abilities and come up with class design. Right? Some opportunities. But generally speaking, when you log in and you play Destiny, the gameplay is fun, and it always has been. The gunplay is good, right? Personally, I think it's like the best FPS gunplay ever, right? There's not another game that I have played where using the guns feels so good and feels unique in the different archetype of weapons that you're using. And those designers and developers, they come up with new ideas pretty frequently, right? Rocket-assisted sidearms, rocket-assisted pulse rifles, trace rifles. The fusion rifle is literally my favorite gun in all of FPS history. Favorite gun, period. I use them all the time. Fantastic. The gunplay in Destiny is the best. The abilities are fun, right? I enjoy them. I don't even care what class I play. Killing somebody with a throwing knife feels good. Freezing people with stasis feels good, right? Using strand, shattering, crystals, igniting, running around with devour and weaken. getting out threadlings, grenade grappling around them. The abilities in the game feel good. The gunplay feels good. The build crafting is fun and engaging. When you play Destiny 2, it is a fun game to play. Period. Right? It's the reason that I haven't been able to stop up to this point. I log in and it feels good to play the game. But despite how good all of the actual gameplay is, the gameplay loop is so catastrophically bad that it detracts from what should be the easy selling point and the thing that people talk about when they log in and play Destiny 2. Right? I've always been a firm believer that any game that has good gameplay will eventually and always attract players and be successful no matter what, because gameplay is what is king in games, right? You see it with Souls games. I don't know how many people played Demon Souls when it first came out on PS3 in 2008 or 9 or whenever the hell that was. But when I played Demon Souls for the first time, it was fun and I knew it would be good. I was never surprised that the Souls games took off and became popular because the gameplay at its core was always good. The gameplay loop in Destiny 2 is abso-fucking-lutely miserable right now. It's never been great in the history of the game, but it's been tolerable, except for right now. And the issue is that it's completely disrespectful of players' time. And what's more frustrating with it is that this is a problem that Destiny 2 solved years ago. But the decision makers at Bungie made a conscious decision to bring it back and dial it up to 9,000. And the fact that this is even happening is the biggest sign to me that there's not a single decision maker at Bungie that's played this game in the fucking past. And that is frustrating. Right? So, brief history lesson with Destiny 2 is that the seasonal grind's always been typically embodied that you grind up to a power soft cap and then you do more difficult content in the game to get to a pinnacle cap that has marginal advantages over the power cap. And over time, this grind has changed a lot. But where it settled for the longest time is that the pinnacle cap was 10 levels above the power cap. And you could grind an unlimited amount up to the power cap. And then you're limited on pinnacle activities to get the drops you need to get to the pinnacle cap. The worst version of this system, pinnacle drops were one level above your character's item level, and you were limited to the number of pinnacle drops you could get each week. Right? So, from a time standpoint, Destiny player would hit their power cap, start their pinnacle grind, and you'd get 12 pinnacle drops, 13 pinnacle drops each week that were +1. And you have 8 slots you need to get gear for. So it would artificially drag out the grind a few weeks. Right? You play multiple characters, you get a little bit of an advantage where you can get weapon drops you can use across characters. But it eventually got removed, right? Because there was no value add to a system like this. Over time, they slowly adjusted it. Pinnacle drop switched to +2. You got more sources, where eventually it was completely removed as part of the seasonal model because players hated it significantly and complained about it constantly. So, not much of a value add. The smart decision was made a few years ago to just completely remove it. Edge of Fate, they brought this back and dialed that shit up, right? So you can repeat activities now, but you're limited to a small number A small power increase per drop, the same 8 slots, and the grind just goes even higher, right? So the other piece of it that sucks ass is that the new systems they introduced in Edge of Fate, tiered weapon and armor drops, are locked behind specific levels of power. And I may be off a little bit on this. Quite frankly, I don't care about the specifics that much, right? I think it's tier 3 is locked behind being level 200, tier 4 is locked behind level 300, and tier 5 is locked behind level 400. And as you get higher up in those levels, um, the drop rate of those increases, right? Where eventually you hit the point where all of your drops are at that minimum tier, right? I think if you made it to 450, the vast majority of your drops all drop as tier 5, which is cool, right? The problem is that up to this point, right, prior to Edge of Fate, I played the shit out of Destiny. And I had perfect armor on every character for every build that I would want to play. So functionally, I don't need to engage with this system at all, really, until tier 4 drops, right? Okay? So that's not bad in and of itself. The problem comes in to the time commitment required to get there. So, a comparison. Let me find this. So, I played with my friend. We played the legendary campaign together. We went through everything. And then we started the power grind. I'm not going to lie. After the campaign, I couldn't fucking handle it. I would crash out every day when I got into 5 or 6 solo ops. Um, I hate playing solo ops. I hate playing by myself. I play Destiny because I enjoy playing with my friends. That is the most fun. We sit there, we're in Discord, talking shit, having fun, shooting aliens, and that's how we play. The problem is that the most efficient power grind, really, right, in Edge of Fate, the most efficient power grind is 2 things. You either do solo ops or you do pinnacle ops with a full fire team. And that's what we did. When my friend was on and one of our other friends, we'd go into our pinnacle ops, grind out the story missions, um, you know, Encore, Star-Crossed, whatever the other ones are. And we could get through those in like 10 to 12 minutes because we're pretty familiar with everything, know how they go, and just speed ran them. Right? But it's not really efficient unless you can hit that completion time, which is really only easy when you have the 3 people in there all together. If doing a pinnacle op, or really truly, if doing any activity um, nets you less than 1 drop every 6 minutes or 5 minutes, then the efficient way to play is by doing solo ops. And I can't stand them. I hate them. So we played, right. This is a track of the activities I pulled from Destiny Tracker, another great resource out there, and a quick rundown. Right. So my friend hit 400, and to get to 400, he completed 364 activities. Mind you, this is almost entirely during solstice, so this is double drops, right? Or maybe not double drops, but you get an extra drop for every activity that you complete. I did 159. I only got to 294. Since then, we've been playing a lot of trials. I'm at like 310 or 315 or something like that now. He's like at 410, 415. Point here being is that I'm barely at the point where I could engage in the new systems. right? From the time tracking standpoint, I completed 159 activities that got me nothing meaningful to the progression of my character. That is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. That this is a fucking modern game that we're out here playing, and I need to complete 159 activities to almost get to the point where I can engage with the content that's meaningful to my character. Right? 159 activities, and let's say uh, average of 7 to 8 minutes for completion. Right? I'm not like an great gamer where I can complete this shit as fast as humanly possible, even on the solo ops. That's not how I play. So let's say 7 minutes, 159 activities. So what? What is that? Some quick napkin math. Times 7 minutes divided by 60. So 18-ish hours, 20 hours of just playing the game and getting nothing, right? For my friend to hit 400, and that's really where I think the new systems shine and you can really take advantage of them. That's where I would have liked to go if I didn't get so pissed off at playing the game. Okay? He spent over 40 hours in those activities. 40 hours for a seasonal grind to get to meaningful content. That's bonkers. Like, absolutely nonsensical that you need to play the game that much to get to more meaningful content. I didn't have the fortitude. I'm still not up there, right? I'm at the point where I'm getting tier 4 drops. I have 20ish hours in activities. I did some other stuff. I can't sit there and play the most efficient way cuz it drives me fucking crazy. So I play some PvP, I play some comp. I'm definitely playing trials because those are engaging game modes for me to actually enjoy playing the game, which is tough to do right now. Playing trials to enjoy the fucking game. Talk about bullshit. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Like I think this is dog shit. All right, this doesn't go into load times or anything like that, right? You talk about time between matches, time matchmaking, time loading into the activity, time queuing up for your next activity. Like, this isn't, it's not just 40 hours that he spent to get to that point, right? 40 hours with bonus drops. This is closer to like 50, 60 hours, if not more, just to get there. That's stupid. That is so disrespectful of a player's time. There is not another game that I have ever played that is so disrespectful to a player's time in order to get to meaningful and engaging rewards. Right? And that's what pisses me off. That is frustrating. Right? And I want to be clear. Right? This is with bonus drops. This is a seasonal grind. And despite all the feedback and data that Bungie has seen, they are nerfing the efficiency of playing solo and playing pinnacle activities as a fire team. Like, how tone deaf or ignorant do you have to be to look at the data that you have and make the decision, oh, People are doing shit too fast in my game to get to the point where they have fun. So let me make sure they can't fucking do that anymore. Right? And then the expectation is come back and enjoy this fucking slop every single season going forward. That's nonsense, right? And I want to be clear. The issue's not the time commitment to get to max. You can stick the max power grind however the fuck you want to. I don't give two shits. The issue is that you can't get to engaging content and rewards until you sink an exorbitant amount of hours into this fucking game, and it's not even fun to do. That's the issue, and it's so frustrating. I don't understand how they can sit there and look at the data and see the player counts low, see your revenue low, and think, man, let's make this more inconvenient and frustrating to fucking do. That's it. That is why I am positive there is no decision maker at Bungie that plays this fucking game or played in the past or even looks at the history of the thing they're working on to see the problems that they're creating and how to fix it. Or at least not make the problem worse. Or go back and reintroduce the fucking problem that you fixed years ago because it led to decreasing players and low player satisfaction back then. Right? Like, this is simple. And then on top of that, right? Like, and I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think there's very many players in all of Destiny that want to grind solo ops. But do you know why they do? Because so much content has been cut or neglected in this game that is the only efficient option. Players will gravitate to the path of least resistance. That is an axiom in every game since fucking forever. It is not rocket science. It is not a surprise. It is the one thing that you can count on gamers to do every single time they play a game with a power grind. Okay? Not a surprise. Not new. Not different. There is nothing unexpected about that. But Bungie has neglected the rewards and the difficulty of every other activity in the game that's what people are gravitating to. And they're not having fun. I would say the vast majority of people do not enjoy grinding solo ops. But the reward structure of the rest of the game in conjunction with the difficulty makes everything else fucking miserable to do. Right? Here's an example. Let me go into the fucking portal and check this out. All right. This is the fucking highlight. Okay? So, generally speaking, I'll come out here when I log in to play. I'll go to the portal. I'll come do anything that has bonus rewards as long as it's helpful. Today's trials, after I'm done recording this, I'm about to play the fuck out of trials to get some more light level before I lose my mind. Right? I want some tier 4 drops because that's fun to me. I'll go in here and I'll check out the solo ops. I don't really have many bonus rewards here, so I'm probably not going to do any solo ops today. And then fire team. I stopped even fucking checking this because queuing into the fire team ops playlist suck ass. Here is liminality. It is such a joke. I have attempted to complete this with 3 bonus rewards 4 times. Not today, in general. I have had 3 bonus drops on liminality for over a week. The reason I don't have this completed is every time I queue into this, match-made fire teams get stuck somewhere. Why? Because the difficulty is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Okay? These modifiers suck ass for a match-made activity that we are supposed to want to go and do to get rewards. locked loadouts, time bonus, whatever. This is fucking annoying. Haste trade-off. Okay? We got some finisher bonuses in here. Um, glass cannon. Heaven forbid you play the game fucking good in a match-made activity, right? Boom. Your best person who's helping out or probably doing the carrying is taking more damage. And then we have combatant bullshit on here. Lots of Bane enemies, which is more annoying. Less stuns, which is annoying. Champions, which as a system are fucking annoying. But these two aren't too bad. Screebs when you kill something. You get slowed when you're fucking running through the strike. Getting hit slows you. And things are stealthy, which means sometimes you may not notice them, and when you get close to them, they will melee you and slow you. This is annoying as shit. What should be an activity that can take 10 to 12 minutes suddenly takes 15 plus in matchmade, right? If I'm playing with a fire team, I'm not coming into this fucking playlist to queue. We have other more efficient activities that we can do in this fucking game to get power level and to get loot. I only come into this fire team ops playlist to matchmake stuff when I'm playing by myself for bonus rewards. I'll do pretty much everything else without an issue. Right, need to go back into Sabbath Inspire because that's not too bad and I enjoy that one. But Liminality with these 3 bonus engrams and an extra bonus piece, not worth doing because the lemon is not worth the fucking squeeze. And that sums up everything. Fucking everything. I have not gone back done anything on fucking Kepler. I don't even do these fucking daily missions because the headache and the hassle that comes with doing this shit is not worth it at all. At all. How do we get to this point? I mean, I'll be honest, right? Like I don't feel like Bungie's making Destiny for Destiny players anymore. Right? That's fine, I guess, if that's what they want to do. They're not going to get any new players to this fucking game, so making the game for Destiny players is probably the only thing they should be doing, but I don't feel like they are. Right? Maybe it's not for me anymore. Maybe it is designed for me to quit because I am not having fun. That's perfectly okay. Maybe I should take the fucking sign and uninstall the game. Right? Very possible. That is where I am so fucking close to. But that's not where I want to be because I enjoy playing the game so much. But like I can quit. I quit playing EverQuest. If I can quit playing that, I can quit playing Destiny. But I just don't want the game that I've spent thousands of hours playing and enjoy playing to be destroyed by some of the most brain dead fucking decisions that I've ever seen. How we got here. I think the biggest change internally, I think Bungie measures success by hours played. That's what I think. Honest to goodness. Do I know that for a fact? No, not at all. But I have a strong feeling based on my experience in corporate bullshit that the measure for success has changed and the measure for success is playtime. So Edge of Fate was designed with a gameplay loop that focused on driving playtime up so that they can measure success and say, oh, people are playing, people are getting lots of hours, I don't know why we're not making money. We've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. That's what this really smells like to me. Right? That's the only thing that makes sense. Why would they bring back systems that players have communicated that they hate multiple times in Destiny's history and bring them back in the form that they did? These suck. The power grind sucks. The 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 customization that's supposed to be as part of the portal isn't there for the things that people would do. I can't customize these fucking modifiers on the match made version of it. Only on the solo one. So you expect me to change the modifiers and play through a strike by myself? Like I can, but that's not fun. There is so little about the gameplay loop in Destiny 2 right now that is fun. And that sucks because the game itself is fun. But the gameplay loop has just sucked all of the fun right out of it. And it's like the decisions that have led to this point tell me that they don't understand what makes Destiny Destiny. And it's infuriating because I played Heresy a lot. I loved Heresy. I felt like that season of Heresy understood what the essence of Destiny is. Truly, it had some cool story. We got Oryx. Spoilers, apologize in advance. We got Oryx. We fucked around with the Hive Gods. We killed them. We did some cool shit in the lore. Period. It was great. Activity-wise, the Nether. Okay, I did the Nether a lot. The Nether captured some of the best parts of Destiny. There are secrets. There are things that you can discover. There is activities and loot that you can get as you go through. But it captures the essence of exploring, looking for secrets, killing enemies, getting loot. The Court of Blades, boss rushing. A fantastic power fantasy that let you express the power of your character to destroy 13 bosses in a row as fast as possible and get the rewards that go with it. I had so much fun playing Heresy and the systems that they had that I farmed shiny adepts. I didn't get all the ones I wanted, which is completely fine, but I farmed them, and I have shiny adept versions of these guns that I enjoyed. And I had no problem doing it. I don't even want to know how many completions of Court of Blades that I did, or how many completions in the Nether. It doesn't even matter because I had fun playing the game that I could log in, do the same shit over and over, match made, or using Fire Team Finder or the Destiny 2 Discord. I just like to play. I had one friend come back to play in Season of Heresy who hadn't played since, God, Witch Queen? And he leveled up and we went and did Court of Blades and the Nether and had a fucking blast every time we did it. He hasn't logged in since. And he probably won't. Because Edge of Fate just misses the mark completely. Nothing is designed about the players having a good time. Everything about the gameplay loop in Edge of Fate is designed to take time. And it takes it and doesn't give you shit for it. And it sucks. And the frustration is that this was a conscious decision that was made by the people in charge. And I don't understand it. Your game is dying. Your player counts are at all-time lows. And you do the stupidest shit to make people not want to play the fucking game. What is wrong? How did you logically get from point A to point B where we're even dealing with this bullshit? And it's simple. They're designing to waste people's times. They're not listening to any feedback, and they don't understand the essence of what makes their games good. And it's the same thing in Marathon. I was excited for Marathon because I thought it was going to be like a giant version of fucking Gambit. That's all I wanted. I would have been so excited to fucking play it if that's what it was. That's not it. It's not what it is. People have given lots of feedback. It's been suggested. But Bungie thinks they know what players want better than the players themselves. And that is why it feels like Bungie is in a death spiral. Destiny 2 is cooked. Marathon is too. Because at the core, Bungie does not look at feedback that they get. And the players care so much about the games that they make because the guts of them are so good that they want them to be better, and they give all of the most meaning feedback you could ever possibly want. But Bungie doesn't listen because Bungie knows best. Their hubris will be their own undoing. And as an outsider looking in, it's obvious, and everything seems so easily fixable, which is why it's so frustrating. But historically, Bungie won't do shit until it's too late. And it's just unfortunate that at this point, I mean, they're on their deathbed. The cash cow isn't being milked. They've split dev resources. They've wasted billions of dollars. And recovering is a monumental task. Do I think they can fix it? Definitely. I hope so. I wish they would. But how do you fix it when you don't have the revenue? You don't have the cash reserves. You've destroyed the trust of your players and your investors. That's the challenge. The story, the mechanical systems, they're all there. But you need some sort of hard reset. Personally, I'm not spending any more money on Destiny. There's nothing appealing for this right now. Right? Like, I'm compelled to keep playing the game because I have a fucking problem. Right? And I know it. But I enjoy playing it too much generally. No Gambit, no Iron Banner, a power grind that wastes my time. I am not spending another dime. And even if Destiny 3 did come out, I would need to see definitively that they're not making the same fucking mistakes that they made to kill Destiny 2. Good luck convincing me of that. They stopped milking the cash cow for gummy bears? A shitty version of an extraction shooter and a MOBA. Like, Bungie leadership is ass. That's terrible. I don't understand how you let your main revenue stream fall. It doesn't make sense to me. Right now, Destiny 2, we're at the bottom of the dread version of the salt mines on GM, playing with double specials, no ammo, and the Tormentor just spawned in. We can get out of this. But damn, it won't be easy, and it sure as fuck won't be time efficient. So, good luck to Bungie. But I'm pretty close to done. Pretty close to done.